another week. It's snowing again today, but it's not settling, so she's been very physical this week, hardly been on the tablet at all. She probably has done pen work or mark making in nursery, but they're not very forthcoming with information, so she's been very busy most days. We do most things most days. Yeah, I thought I'd share my ideas book with you in this video, and then at the end a little haul that we got down our local, I don't know what you'd call it. It's a bargain shop, but it's not quite a bargain shop. I suppose if you're watching from America, it's a bit like a cheaper version of a Target. It's a church turned into a tat shop, just sells old bits and bobs, but we got some manipulatives while we were down there, so I'll show you what we got. Hi, so today I wanted to share with you, it's planning again, but it's more ideas for planning rather than the actual planning itself. This is for when Rosie is a bit more preschool age, so it's ideas for like weekly subjects and stuff. So what I started with is I split the page into the 12 months, and then I wrote down anything that happens in each of those months that may be worth covering. And we don't have to do this over 1 year, we can do it over 2. So for example, January has New Year and it has Bampy's birthday. February has Daddy's birthday, as well as Valentine's Day, Shrove Tuesday and Ash Wednesday. We live in Wales, so St David's Day in March, Mother's Day, St Patrick's Day, Good Friday. When she gets older, we'll discuss why the clocks go back and stuff. So you see what I mean. It's just so that I've got a general overview of what's going to happen in each month that we might be able to learn about. So then what I've done is I'm just brainstorming. So January, it's normally not very nice to go out. So I thought maybe we could discuss the weather and talk about windy, wet, cold, snow. She'll identify them and stuff. New Year, I might wait until she's older to properly kind of go over that with her, why people celebrate it, and resolutions. I've got dinosaurs as well in January, just because the museum's free to go to and it's inside, so it's a nice bad weather month to have something that's an inside activity, as well as like under the sea as well. We could go to an aquarium. We've got Bampy's birthday with card making. So that's an example of like January. So what I've done on the other side now, I haven't left enough pages in between each one, is that what I've done then is I've brainstormed each subject. So weather, so thunderstorms, read about thunderstorms and how storm clouds are formed, create a storm in a jar, sunny, windy. So I've written everything, and I'll do more stuff, and what I'll also do is I'll link off each of these any resources we have. So I'll write down whether we've got a weather book so that I don't have to go digging through everything at the time. I've got a list of resources, and then I've got learning outcomes. So this is for me, this is what I want her to be able to understand or know by the end of the week or the subject. So to identify the different weather conditions, so to be able to look out the window and tell me what the weather is, basically. To have a general idea of where rain and snow come from. So she doesn't need to know the specifics, but she kind of needs to know that they're formed in the clouds. And snow is because when it's colder in that part of the atmosphere sort of thing. I want her to be able to match today's weather on her chart, describe the weather, which all links in with the first one really, and understand why it rains. I think rain's probably the easiest one for her to be able to visualise, because there's so many diagrams that show it, so we'll be able to do that and create a storm in a jar. So we'll learn how to do that off Pinterest. So dinosaurs, so herbivores, carnivores, omnivores, museum trips. So here I've got like my resources and any field trips we can go on, anything we can use, anything I want her to be able to, anything we can kind of like, anywhere we can go, especially if it's free. Because that's one thing that with homeschooling it is beginning to look like it's gonna cost a fair bit to homeschool unless you can find the free stuff out there. And if I do find free stuff, I will link it below so that I can pass on. However, sometimes you have to subscribe, so I may not be able to put a link for the resources, but I may be able to put a link for subscribe to this person, and you can use their free resources. I'm not allowed to share just their resources without you becoming a subscriber. So learning outcomes: identify at least like one carnivore, one herbivore, one omnivore. Identify at least one land, one sea, one air dinosaur. Understand roughly how long ago they lived. Understand how we know they existed, so fossils, and understand what a fossil is. So this isn't for like right now, this is when she's a little bit older, some of this stuff. And we may introduce dinosaurs earlier and just like do counting activities and learn their names. It depends where her interests lie, because it's going to be very interest led as well. And then I've got under the sea. So I've done this for every month. So February, I figured it's still kind of a wet month, so we go over emotions, which we're currently actually doing at the moment. We are doing this at the moment. So Valentine's Day, Shrove Tuesday, we missed. I never do Pancake Day. And Daddy's birthday. So I haven't finished this book. This is a work in progress at the moment. Probably going to start from August, September, because she turns 3 then. Some things we may have already covered by then. So learning outcomes, I haven't finished writing these, so being able to differentiate between these feelings and know how to safely manage these feelings. So I want her to be able to self-regulate, and I really, really love JDA's idea of the self-regulating corner, but we don't have a corner. I'll show you. So we've got the corner with her thing in, yes, friends on mute in the corner. We have our stairs in that corner, and we have a sofa in that corner, and then that's the way to the kitchen. So unless I can find somewhere else to put her desk and use that little area there, we don't really have somewhere that has no traffic going through to use for her. I might have to ask my brother if he can think of how we could reorganise the room to create one for her, because he loves doing redesigning layouts and stuff. So March, I won't go over stores, and I'll just show you kind of like, so March is a good time to do like seasons, and then go more into depth of spring. St. David's Day, St. Patrick's Day, Good Friday, the Christian faith, what Easter is. So she's not in nursery, so I've got my seasons, my spring. Actually, I haven't finished doing all of these yet. I'm not in a hurry to finish them either, because they are just ideas. I've got my April. But what I have, once I've done all my This is why this is my ideas book. So I've recently started setting out a learning table for her. So at the moment I've moved her blocks to her interest table, and she's still got her letters, but she's requested her pom-poms back out. So before she gets back with Daddy, I'm probably going to swap that out, because she has done most of that sheet already this morning. So how I kind of like don't have to, what shall I put out this morning, is anything that can be put in a tray I've ticked down here as well, so that because people have these tray shelf activities, but until I've got somewhere I can put a shelf, this is the thing, that corner for her self-regulating emotions, it can either be for that or for shelf activities. We just don't have the space to have both, so her learning table's a nice thing at the moment. So activities we currently have, I'm still filling this out because I'm sure we've got more than this, but she's got threading, so I've got her FM stands for fine motor skills, L is for logic, and I is for imaginative, like play. So she's got threading, her opposites cards, her puzzles, her clock puzzle, her abacus, Play-Doh I'm kind of like umming and ahhing about, because she just shreds it at the moment. She doesn't actually play with it, she just shreds it into little pieces and throws it around the room. So that's why there's a question mark. Heads and tails cards, her Duplo, her wooden or plastic blocks, her letters and sorting pots, her beginning letter sheets, and sand with like counting. So maybe I give her some animals and she can count the footprints, make shapes in it, or tracing letters inside it. So she knows her letters, we just haven't really started doing anything with them yet, so maybe I need to start doing a little bit more of her letters. I really want her to start learning phonics, because she understood that sheep began with S, but she keeps wanting to say sheep begins with sh, not S, so I kind of want to get her to realise. So this probably isn't going to work out. I don't know if this isn't too much or enough or whatever. So this is just a general, this is me trying to work out, right, on Monday, what am I going to put out for her? So this is the teacher side of me trying to plan ahead. So this may not work out. So, and then at the back of the book, and I'll do another video on this because I don't want this video to be too long. The back of the book, as well as free resources and whatnot. I've got some ideas like the growth mindset, so making sure we're saying the right things, like instead of saying I'm not good at this, what am I missing? Instead of saying I'm awesome at this, saying I'm on the right track. Oh, I can't make this any better, I can always improve, so I keep trying to say it. It's a growth mindset chart. Also, I've started kind of like planning just different bits of history that I wanted to cover with her. Circle time baskets. So I'm going to do a completely separate video once I get this organised, but I've just written down what I want to cover. So the books I want to cover are one in Welsh, one in English, fiction book, and a non-fiction book. I've ordered the Usborne famous painting cards, and at the moment she'll just look at them and we'll talk about, oh, can you see a circle in it? What colours have they used and whatnot? And when she gets older, she'll be able to appreciate them more. But she'll understand to start discussing them. Letter and number flashcards we do, but we tend to do them as an activity after circle time, so I might not include these in this specific time. We're going to sing our days of the week song, our months of the year song. We're going to listen to I'm going to show her a musical instrument, so she's going to have a card with a musical instrument on it in the basket, and that's going to be our instrument. So then whilst we do anything else, we're going to listen to a piece of music just on that instrument. So this morning we listened to just a piano piece. So if I'd organised it already, she'd have been looking at a piano whilst she was listening to it. Then we might do some yoga or some dance to get a bit of wiggles out. At the start of each week, we'll say what we're thankful for. We're also going to have I'm going to write out some random acts of kindness cards. So we're going to pick something either at the start of the week or every few days of this is what we're going to do this week as our random act of kindness. So it might be let people go ahead of us in a queue. It might be smile at people. It might be leave some change in a charity bin. It might be buy a coffee for a homeless person, something like that. And we'll also do our calendar clock. So if anyone would like to see once Circle Time is up and running, or a video on the resources we're going to use, do let me know. Yeah, so this is I want to put it down on paper book. I just need to see a plan, see where it's going, and yeah, that is my ideas planning notebook. I hope it helps someone, even if it just helps you start organising your thoughts. We've just been down the Rainbow Bargain Shop on our road, so we have come back with a homeschooling haul of manipulatives. So I've taken out their packaging, and it's just to keep them separate from each other. So we've got these coloured lolly sticks, which we're going to use for colours, counting, shapes. We bought some more pom-poms, which Rosie helped put in the bag. So I'm going to add the other pom-poms to this one. So they're going to go in this little box. We also found, and I might go back and buy some more of these foam blocks and cylinders. So these are awesome for 3D shapes, colours, sequencing, and all sorts. So yeah, South Wales mummies. We missed one, did we? We missed one. Go on then. Go on, put it in. Oh, good girl. We missed one. Oh, she's so clever at doing that. She's currently putting the poker chips that we bought in there as well. Because we've seen this thing where people put discs, tell the child to put so many discs on like a picture to count. Say put 2, give the bunny rabbit 2 eyes with the discs, sort of thing. So I normally wouldn't let her like just play. It normally would be set out, but we've just bought it and she's new to all this stuff, so I just wanted to know. See, she's not sorting colours or numbers or anything at the moment, but she's getting used to things going in different compartments, so I'll introduce the idea of splitting them into the colours and the numbers. These handy little baskets which already have the dividers in them, And we also bought a pillbox type thing, so that she can use our tongs to pick up small things and put them in. The ones they had done there didn't open any further than that, so she'd have had really big problems actually grasping anything. And we also bought some, she was desperate to play with, some stamp roller pens. So I've just done her a interactive toddler book, which was an idea of JDA, and it has where you do I've added some things in that I think she'll be able to do. So I've added things in like dot the D's, dot the A's, so she's going to stamp them with these, and she's going to have so much fun. So yeah, she's having fun sorting these. I hope you enjoyed the video. This is, it does stand up, it's just on a slidey surface, but I'm prototyping a card for Rosie to make for Nanny and Gamps this year, and Nanny and Bampy. So this year, yeah, I've made them. She will colour them in. She has helped with some of the sticking. She's put the powder puff on. We've still got to finish Nanny and Bampy's card. But I found this in the Usborne Book of Spring, which was absolutely a beautiful book. We found it at Gymnastics on their little thrift table for like £1. So yes, if you've enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and we will see you in the next video. It's ta-ta from me and ta-ta from the Rosie Bear.